Do you need health insurance while you're traveling? This is a very popular question I get on my other channel. What's up? I'm Luke from Luke Life Charms. And it's kind of a complicated answer to this question. And the only reason it's complicated to answer is because it depends on what country you go to, on what the economy is there. Okay? So health insurance, of course, it's nice to get. One of the health insurances that I use while traveling is World Nomads. But from traveling in Southeast Asia and living there for about 2 years, I realized after about 3 months that I was like, why am I paying this $80, $100, which is actually a pretty cheaper health insurance that covered everything, when the local currency of what people make there is $120 a month. So having the health insurance in a country like that, was it needed? I don't know, because you can basically, for just about almost everything that you need, you can usually go to the doctor, see doctors there. I'm currently living in Mexico, and you see them for a much cheaper price. For example, right now I'm living in Mexico. They have free doctors here. So if I need health insurance, do I need to be paying $100 a month to have this grand insurance on something when I'm living in a country where almost just about all the general needs that you have, you can basically pay for with that money that you would have spent on health insurance. So I hope that's making sense. So the thing that I usually do is when I'm going to a country and I'm thinking of what I'm going to be doing there. For example, I'm going to be doing a lot of hiking in Costa Rica and going into the mountains. Do I need to have it? I asked people about how much it costs to get anti-venom and stuff like that. It was like $10, $15 if you're stung by one of the thousands of poisonous animals they have there. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't really need the health insurance. So I saved the money instead of paying, I think it was $80 a month for going there for the travel insurance. Then travel insurance only covered up to a certain started paying after a certain amount. But if you're going to the doctor, it's cost you $10, $15. If you're traveling in Europe, for example, you get sick and go to a doctor, I think the average copay, I was living in Europe 10 years, but when I was there last in 2019, you pay 25 US dollars to go and see a doctor. So this really affects people. Travel insurance is a really big deal for a lot of my friends who live in the States, where we're used to paying a lot of money, big copays. This doesn't really exist when you go to a lot of other countries. A lot of other countries, things are taken care of, and the prices are much cheaper. I probably went to a dentist while traveling, not even living overseas, but traveling overseas, probably about 10 times, 15 times. And all the costs there are affordable. I don't think that if I would have had health insurance throughout the last 5 years while I was traveling, what I pay for in 1 year is probably what I have paid for in total for the last 10 years of traveling. So it's something to think about depending on where you're going, and of course your financial situation. And also understand that the prices vary. For example, your travel insurance, the prices vary on depending on where you're going. The second you put USA on a travel insurance, the price has doubled from whatever price it was because the health insurance is so expensive there. But if you just put on there, because when you fill out your health insurance, you type in the countries you're going to be at, and that's how they know what to cover you in. You type in Vietnam, Indonesia, and all these countries, it might be like $60 for 2 months. So if you're in a place like that, I think it is worth it. But when you start talking about 150 a month, 200 a month, it's important to think of what is the actual cost of seeing a doctor if I was there, and does my health insurance cover what I actually need. Most of the time for me, like I say, it was dentist a lot, and the insurance doesn't really cover that. And I was like, I can just pay out of pocket. Most of the time they like that. A lot of the places when you go to small countries, there is no computer system there. Everything is done by paper. You have to pay in cash. So dealing with something like this was a little bit of a challenge. And the things that I found is if you use a MasterCard, a Visa card, a lot of times you have health insurance built into that card. So a lot of people forget about that, but you have insurance built into that card, use that. Use it. Sometimes they'll cover you for the first 90 days if you pay with that card, so check into that. But health insurance, is it needed when you travel? No. If you have a little cash in hand, even $1,000 just in the side, I don't think it's worth it. Personally, for me, I know anything can happen at any time, but I know if you're paying a lot of money for health insurance and you're just kind of living very simply and you've always been healthy, it's just something to think twice about. I haven't traveled with health insurance in probably like a year. That's not to say I won't go on and get one after recording this video, because I just thought about it. But I think it's very important to understand what is the cost of actually having insurance how much it costs to go to the doctors where you're living at, or traveling to. So it's just something to think about. Health insurance, the one that I use is World Nomads, but I know a bunch of people use a whole bunch of different ones. But the most important thing you need to remember about health insurance is sometimes you need to have the health insurance before you go on the trip. A lot of people don't realize that. So if you're already traveling, you need to buy the health insurance at the country of origin for your trip. So a lot of the ones that I looked at for health insurance, let's say you were going from America to Australia. If you got to Australia and you realize, like, I need health insurance here, everything's expensive, you can't do it because you're already in the country. With World Nomads, as of last time I had it, is in 2021, you could book it right where you are, starting it that day. So that's something to keep in mind. And as a side note, if you're riding on a motorcycle or a scooter and you don't have an international license and you're in Asia and you get into an accident, and they're going to ask to see your international license and ask why you were driving. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't say you were a passenger on a bike or anything like that, but they're going to ask for that. And look for that, because if you don't have that and you're in accident driving and you're not actually legally able to be driving there, it nullifies the help that you get from the insurance. So hope this helps you out. World Nomads is the one that I use, but feel free to use any one you like. And thank you for being here. You can check out the travel masterclass that I filmed, kind of talking about everything from saving to investing to strategy to helping people, making an impact, helping other people, giving back. All that was in the masterclass to get you guys fully equipped with things that took me 18 years to learn while traveling. So hope you enjoy that. It's only $10 in the description below, I think. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys later, and take care.